Hey there guys, Mr. Short Hitter here. Golf is not always played in nice weather. And if you're me, I rarely ever play in nice weather. In cold and sleet and rain and everything else. I didn't really plan on coming out, but I got something in the mail that was pretty exciting, so I just can't help myself. The PXG Xtreme golf balls. Play a few holes with this golf ball. We'll go inside, get some numbers. First, we'll take it on the course and play 3 or 4 holes.
5 holes to go, just play 13. Need a part my way in, gotta hit more greens.
So guys, I play the Titleist Z-Star normally. You know, that's just one tee shot, so it's hard to say. But that ball felt pretty much in the same neighborhood as the Z-Star on that shot. Kind of pulled it a little left. The compression has got to be in that same neighborhood. You know, when I do these tests, I try not to look at the ball beforehand so that I'm completely unbiased, and that compression felt pretty similar to my Z-Star. So I've got 106 to this pin. Everything's so wet out here. So I carried about 215, which is about normal for me. It's about normal. Can't really see where that ball landed, but it just flew like a rocket off the club face. I had 106. I hit not a hard pitching wedge, a little bit less than normal, but it feels like the ball flew way past the hole. So let's get up there. It looked like the ball didn't fly as far as I thought it flew. It flew just about perfect, just past pin high. We got to putt at it. Everything is super wet out here, so I can't really say regarding the spin based on the conditions now, because this ball actually took a little bit of bounce back, and you'll see when I repair this ball mark. Now this PXG ball, let me get a towel, it's pretty dirty. So this PXG ball does have a pretty cool alignment aid on it. You can line up the ball here, but I think this is also a line across that should help. You can line up your putter to that mark there. I'm not sure where I was lined up there, but it wasn't right. We're gonna go to a 390-yard par 4. This is gonna be a tough hole. So I decided I'm gonna use that little plus sign as kind of like a target on the back of the ball to hit my drive. This hole is playing long, but that is probably one of the best drives that I've hit in a long time. So I don't know if it's the super speed training or the ball. We'll see where it is. This wind is howling right now. It's all right to left, and anything hurting just a tad. I've got, as you can see, I'm trying to keep my head on. I've got 176 to a middle pin. I'm gonna hit a high wood. I'm not even sure if this is enough. By the way, the PXG ball, it flew all the way here. It actually bounced back a tad. It flew all of 215 yards into these conditions, so that's pretty good for me. That's not very good. I kind of hit behind it a little bit. Face was open, I blocked it out to the right. So let's get up there, let's see how close it is to the green. So far, I've discovered 2 things. 1, this PXG ball is definitely not short. And 2, these shoes are definitely not waterproof. It's very windy out here. I'm glad I figured a way to rig this tripod so it doesn't fall over. So we're gonna hit a low shot, a little lower, 9-iron, try to run it up to the hole. I did feel a little clip on that chip shot. Nothing bad, just a little clicky. Just something to be aware of. I'm gonna leave the tripod here because I need something to hold it down. If I put it on that green, it's gonna blow over. Let's see if I can make this putt. I was walking off that green and I found a nitro just sitting there. So leave down in the comment section, if you walk past a nitro, would you bend over to pick it up? I feel like I'm really putting this PXG ball through a good test. I've got 196 to this par 3. I'm elevated, so I'm guessing it's gonna play closer to 185, but it's dead into the wind. So I think it's a 205-yard shot or so. I almost think it's a driver. I'm gonna go with the 4-wood because long is trouble and it's out of bounds. So that ball flew way too high, higher than I would expect it on the swing that I made. So nobody's out here playing, but this time I found a Srixon soft field. Leave in the comment section if you bend over to pick up the Srixon soft field. I'm not gonna blame it on the ball, but the PXG ball ended up 32 yards short of the flag. So I hit it about 164. This is what happens when the ball balloons on you, you hit it too high. So we'll test inside to see if that's a factor that we need to consider if we want to purchase this ball. For now, let's see if we can hit this pitch shot. So this one, I'm gonna hit a 54 with how wet it is, try to land it like 15 feet onto the green, maybe 15 feet short of the hole. So if it's any consolation, the ball felt pretty good off the putter back there. The wind is howling, it's going, I think it's more down than anything else. Let's get to it. If anything, that shot can give me an idea of what to expect on a miss hit because I hit that ball well off the toe. I think it was high and off the toe. Let's see where it is. So this is actually not as bad as I thought. First, it's 20 yards right of the fairway. However, when I got beyond the trees, I recognized that it wasn't downwind. Actually, the wind was blowing hard left to right. So this ball was going down the right side, caught the wind, and the wind just blew it over here, 20 yards right. So that's not all on the ball. Partly I was playing a draw because I thought it was downwind. That's just me paying attention, I guess. So we've got 88 yards, and instead of us hitting a 48 and hitting it right up into the wind or a 54, we're gonna hit a pitching wedge and just try to keep it a little bit lower. And by the way, it plugged here. I think I shot that tree at 228, so it's about 233 yards off the tee through the air. So the wind might have been helping just a tad, but more left to right. Take a drop here because the ball's plugged. Might just be a little bit long. Now, this ball also has a soft urethane cover just like the ProV1, but I think the compression is supposed to be right in between the ProV1 and the ProV1X. But to me personally, it feels actually, I've played both of those balls, and it actually feels firmer than the ProV1X, especially off the wedge. A little more clicky, a little more firm. I'm gonna hit a few putts and you can really hear that click off of that putter. It's not a dull feeling either. Alright guys, so the last thing I want to point out before we go into the numbers is the durability of the golf ball. What you're looking at now is there was only one minor blemish. I played a 9-hole match with Tom with this golf ball. And I also played 4 holes in the review, so I played 13 holes with this golf ball. You'll see one mark on it was from Unfortunately, on the last hole, I actually hit a cart path, but the other mark is just like a slight little discoloration. But for 14 holes outside of that cart path I hit, this ball was in perfect condition. The packaging of this PXG ball is really nice. They're kind of trademark black and white. The logo looks really nice on there, so it really looks like a nice premium ball. But the one thing you'll notice is it is lighter, a lot lighter, bright white in color, unlike the Pro V1, which is a little bit of a more of an off-white. So it just kind of depends on whether you like that look or not. Now, from 50 yards, the PXG Xtreme had the exact same launch as the Pro V1 in this test, and the spin was only about 200 RPMs less. The descent and the peak height were exactly the same. So this ball performed pretty darn close to a Pro V1 from 50 yards. With the 7-iron, the ball speed was again exactly the same. The launch was only 0.1 degree lower. The spin 200 RPM more, and that ball actually, they claim that you're going to get higher spin from 50 yards with a 7-iron and with the driver. What I found in my test, it looks like the 7-iron, it did produce more spin, but outside of that, it did not produce additional spin from 50 yards and with the driver. The descent, 43 degrees, peak height, 24 yards. Both those numbers matched the Pro V1, and because the Pro V1 had 200 RPM less spin, the total was 1 yard longer with the Pro V1. This ball matched up pretty darn close with the 7-iron also. Now with the driver, the ball speed with both balls, 131 miles per hour. The launch of the PXG Xtreme was about a degree lower. The spin was pretty much exactly the same as the Pro V1. The descent, 2 degrees lower. Peak height, 2 yards lower. And again, that's because of the lower launch angle from the PXG Xtreme. The carry 2 yards shorter than the Pro V1, and the total distance was only 1 yard shorter than the Pro V1. I mean, this ball matched up pretty darn close in every category with the Pro V1. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed my review of the PXG Xtreme golf ball. This ball was a surprisingly good performer at less cost than the Pro V1. It matched up in virtually every category. If you enjoyed the review, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see my club distances, click the video to my right. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, Mr. Short Hitter, out.
My game's obscene now, hooks and big fades, it's not my day now. Why did I play now? Just clear my head, get back in this. An outside shot, you still can win this.